This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Masters of the Universe, Lord Gr'asp, venomous viper with a crushing claw, from the Masters of the Universe Origins line, part of the Snakeman team. To note, they actually did use the Snakeman backing card that they designed a while ago for a lot of the characters when they first started putting the Snakemen out, so that's kind of a cool little throwback. On the back of the card, we look at a scene of Eternia, where Lord Gr'asp is fighting a guy whose name I do not know, but I believe he came as part of a San Diego Comic-Con 3-pack with Lord Gr'asp and Terror that I think it was Super 7 put it out in the Classics era. Of course, in the background of that image, we do have, in the background, we see the evil giant fighting against, it looks like, Sharella on the pterodactyl from the Powers of Grayskull line. The sinister master strategist approaches every situation with toxic intentions. Modernizing and celebrating the original 1980s Masters of the Universe action figures. The dreaded Snakemen have arisen from the darkest depths of Snake Mountain. King Hiss and his repulsive reptiles have vowed to destroy He-Man and his heroic warriors. Will Eternia fall to the slithering swarm? As part of this wave on the back of this box, at any rate, we have Lord Gr'asp, the venomous viper with a crushing claw, Terror, shapeshifter with a sinister shriek. Then we have the cartoon collection Stratos, winged warrior, and Merman, ocean warlord, as part of it. They might as well have just done all four of the current Snakemen that are coming out rather than this, though. Although, since one of those is a deluxe, I guess maybe they didn't want to put that on there. But let's go ahead and take a look inside. And of course, the comic is fused with the cardboard and plastic. No. Way to go, Mattel. We have our little informational sheet that tells us what parts come off of his body. We have the mini comic Leviathan's War. Just going to say on the back here we have Lord Gr'asp, again shown, Terror, Reptix, and Vipron. So far, actually I guess I could have put all four of those. I forgot. Kind of forgot about him. Reptix is the only one that has come out thus far other than Lord Gr'asp. But this is the same comic that came with Reptix. And of course, we have a Lady Slither contacting Lord Gr'asp because her fleet of ships is trapped in space. And she is waiting for Lord Gr'asp to open up a rift in space that she can transport her fleet in. Although it's weird because she refers to it as a derelict armada. But if it was derelict, then how could they get there anyway? Because there wouldn't be anybody like piloting. Lord Gr'asp, who appears to be licking his eyeball, says that he will help her, but she needs to pay a price for his help. His price is, of course, her hand in marriage, which, again, kind of like with the last time I looked at this and with Lady Slither's book. What is it with all the snake men wanting to marry her? Is she like the only snake woman in the entire species? Lord Gr'asp brings his minions of Terror and Vipor to Snake Mountain, where they will use a medallion in order to bring back Serpos, who is part of Snake Mountain. And that is what they will use to open up the rift to allow Lady Slither to return. And of course, as the Snake Armada fleet starts to pass through the rift, Lord Gr'asp is hit with a energy beam, a deadly bolt, fired by Replicx, who also wants to take control of the Snake Armada. However, Skeletor sees them and steals the medallion that Lord Gr'asp has dropped. And now everybody wants to stop Skeletor. But it's too late because Skeletor closes the portal and cuts off the majority of Lady Slither's fleet, including cutting off the first ship, it looks like, or maybe the second ship right at the head of it. Because it's shaped like a snake. Ain't that cute? And Skeletor uses his power to stop everyone. And for some reason, he's got half the power sword with him. Or the full power sword. I am not sure. So, of course, there's some argument. It does appear that Lord Gr'asp has survived the shot through the heart. They attack Skeletor. However, as it turns out, Lady Slither has survived the fight, or the crash. And Skeletor and Replicx go ahead and flee for their lives. Which I guess this means that Skeletor has given up Snake Mountain. And in the background here on the last panel, we see King Hiss, which should be interesting because, as you recall, King Hiss was killed by Lady Slither in the Lady Slither comic. So Lord Gr'asp is, of course, a hodgepodge of different parts from different figures. Standard Motu body. He has Skeletor's arm on the left side, and he's got Clawful's arm on the right side. He uses Squeeze's head, which looks like an alligator, not a snake, especially with all the teeth. I believe this is Scareglow's cloak, although I think it also came with King Randor. So he is the epitome of a figure that was put together out of existing parts. Now the deco, on the other hand, is different, and I mean, they've got it on so many pieces. It's actually kind of impressive, especially getting it on the Clawful claw, because I mean, there's a lot of bumps and bridges here on this claw, so I gotta imagine getting that deco to sit properly was not easy. Although you can kind of see that, you know, the nice little circles are all messed up all over the place on it, on the one side at any rate. I imagine the goal was to try to have them both look this clean on both sides, but it didn't happen. Articulation wise, of course, we've got the head on a ball joint, and he can look way up and way down. Ooh, hold on. We got more deco on the shoulders and neck, too. Like I said, we can look up, we can look down, we can look over. The cape does kind of hinder the whole trying to do a 360 with the head. Take it off and he can do it just fine, though. The arms hinge upward and down again. Kind of a strong joint. We go to spin it, and the cloak is moving out of the way. But look how it sits now. That's kind of funny. So, obviously, the cloak does not hinder, but it does not look good when you do it. We got the single joint in the elbow, which does the less than 90 degrees. The Clawful claw does spin at 360 at the wrist. And we cannot forget that it has the spring-loaded articulation to have him do the claw thing. Do, 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 do. On the other hand, wow. Um, we got a 360 spin at the wrist and in and out articulation on the hand. He can, of course, spin 360. He can kick up yay far, and he can kick back yay far. Knee bends. Ooh, that does not feel good. The knee does bend at less than 90 degrees, and this knee joint, it feels like the peg that they're using wants to break. So I don't know if they're using a cheaper plastic for the joints than they were previously, but I don't think I've had it be like this kind of like loosey goosey. You know what I mean? You can see that. Like that is really not sitting in there well. Of course, not only does the knee bend, but you can spin it around if you want. And at the boot cut, we again get another 360-degree turn. Kind of looks like he's wearing Michelangelo boots from Turtles. And then, of course, we have a hinge at the foot and a little spin as well. I'm just going to straight up say a lot of the joints in the legs on this figure do feel really, really loose. So I'm not too impressed with that. The figure itself looks good. I mean, they did a great job with all the deco on here. I think this head looks better in this coloring than it did on Squeeze. And of course, his accessories are the King Hiss shield, which we can clip on. And he comes with the same stupid snake staff that pretty much every Snakeman comes with, except for the 4-pack, where they only had, I think, one, right? This thing, I mean, honestly, this thing is so stupid. I just don't like it. Like, what is the point? Obviously, he should be able to hold it in his regular hand, but let's see how it goes if we decide to put it in his clawful hand. Not well. Let's try grabbing the thicker part. Still not well. How about choke the snake? Now it looks like he's using it as a walking staff, and it still doesn't hold on well. I think this is why Clawful's one weapon is designed to like kind of almost fit around here with the way it's got that extra handle part. I guess I'll have to take the shield off to try to get this on. So it's kind of difficult to get the shield and the stupid stick in his hands at one time. But it is there, and he can hold both at one time, just not very well, and it looks pretty awful. Also, this color for this cape is just gross looking. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It looks kind of like a grayish with some green tones to it, maybe? But I'm not sure. It just looks like a gross color. But they did match it on the belt, too, and the boots. And Lord Gr'asp here is a Walmart exclusive. Hopefully you were able to order them if you had the opportunity. I have not seen them in stores yet. I was lucky enough to get my order in and get it sent to me. It feels like a rare thing when you order from Walmart's Collector Con. But so be it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please feel free to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm curious as to if you're planning on getting this Lord Gr'asp, or if you're just going to go ahead and say, screw it, I'm done with the Snakemen. Peace and love.